All right, welcome back. It's Eric Arnold in the Sports Barn, Monday, November 23rd, here to do our recap video, which 3 people watched, which is okay because I'm using this episode to kind of test the sound. So when I do my Politics Barn episode, which is going to generate 20 times more views, hopefully the sound will be right this time. I think it's right. We've tested it 3 times. And I think we're in that happy zone where it seems like, you can hear it without putting external speakers on your laptop. All right, well, it's a pretty crummy weekend. College football was NFL Sunday, terrible. Let's put it this way. When Andy Reid and Bill Belichick on the same weekend failed to cover, I had a bad weekend. Because those are 2 of my guys, and that's what happened. So, let's get to it. Let's let you have it. We're going to count the W on that one because when we made the video, it was 6.5. That number fell. I guess that we should be happy about that sort of thing. I know I was looking for that way back in the day, when college basketball was playing last winter. I'll say back in the day because it just seems like that was forever ago. People were in the stands next to each other, fearless. It was a different planet. But if we caught the line before it moved, we would say we were in the right place. In other words, we bought this game cheaper. And as it turned out, it was all the difference because if we had waited to bet this game, this Tulane-Tulsa game, we would have lost. We needed that 6.5 points, all of it, because Tulsa lost, or I should say Tulane lost by 6 points. So we got the cover. Had we bet it a day later, we probably would have lost. Probably everybody else got that game. After you watched my video, you probably lost. But we're taking the W, damn it, because we need it. And I think we earned it. So, W there. 10,000 postponed games. I don't know. I'm trying not to go to sad town here on this virus just because we're going in the wrong direction, people. This is not the way we should be going at all here. But trying not to go unhappy here. So we got a postponement there. Louisville, much the best over Syracuse. We got a W there. Oh, we got robbed here. Just flat robbed by a bad official call. Purdue scored with 40 seconds to go to take the lead and the cover and the win. And the little official throws his flag for offensive pass interference, which did not happen. And Minnesota then intercepted the ball on the next play, and they were the winners. So, robbery there. I think we were in the right place. Just, what can you do? Lost there. We're in the total wrong place there with Air Force. I think maybe now they've got a guy that's starting to trigger their offense the way they want it, so I guess we could probably stop fading Air Force at this juncture. How about Coastal Carolina? These guys just keep on winning. Still undefeated. Getting through late to cover against Appy State and win. Still undefeated. Unbelievable down there in Myrtle Beach. I'm happy Clemson made a point here. This is apparently the facts of the matter here in this Florida State-Clemson game, which Clemson was favored to win by 5 touchdowns at Tallahassee, is that I guess the morning of the game, Clemson had a guy test positive. I read somewhere today that 70% of these positives are false. That the guy's he doesn't have the virus. He's not sick. He's not going to get sick. He's not positive in any way, shape, or form, except the little erroneous test says he's positive. So I have no idea what kind of, if it was a false or true positive, but anyway, they had somebody test positive. And Florida State then went, safety, we don't know. I don't know if we can play. And Clemson, who was there, they're physically in Tallahassee, ready to play this game, they let them have it. And I think as well they should have. It's like, what are you guys talking about? I mean, we've played these games with 5, 10 people being positive. And, safety, seriously, I think it was just Florida State wanting to avoid a humiliating beating, which hopefully sometime in the near future, Clemson will get the chance to make this game up. And I hope they beat them by 70 instead of 35. So that game was postponed. Michigan State, Maryland, postponed. Ohio State, barely squeaking by Indiana, so we get the L. We had Ohio State. Ohio State did not look good. Would not surprise me if that's the game that pushes them. All right, I take that back 100%. I would be shocked if the Ohio State doesn't make the playoffs. If I was on the committee, I would not put Ohio State in, no way. And I'm an Ohio State grad. I wouldn't put them in. I mean, look, if you're not going to put in a BYU or Cincinnati this year, then what's the point of the committee? I mean, what is the point of it being there? I mean, the schedule Ohio State is playing is embarrassing. How easy it is. So, we just have no opportunity to prove ourselves against any kind of good team. And mostly, that's partially the Big Ten's fault because they didn't start on time. There was a player late in that game that I just said to myself, what just happened there? Where Ohio State was up a touchdown. I'm going to say there's about just under 5 minutes to go in the game. Ohio State has the ball on Indiana's 6-yard line. It's 4th and 1. We're up a touchdown now. Less than 5 minutes to go. 4th and 1. Now, I'm thinking play here that every college coach I've ever seen, including the bad ones, would simply kick a field goal there. Go up 10. You're up 10 points now with less than 5 minutes to go. That means the other team's got to score twice to beat you. You're almost certainly going to win. We go for it. We go for it. I guess because being up 14 somehow is so much better than being up 10, and we don't make it. So now Indiana has the ball with a chance to tie, and, well, they couldn't do it. I almost wanted to see him do it just to, hear Ryan Day try to explain that in the press conference. That made absolutely no sense at all. It just made no sense. So, I real questions there about how good Ohio State is. Army gets it done by 1 point, but could not get the cover as they were laying 4 against Georgia Southern. That was one of our top plays. I think Army turned the ball over like 3 times or something, so, what can you do? It wasn't quite good enough, so that's an L on a top play. Illinois, getting 15, wins the game outright. Just, hard to pick and choose here. Who's good, who's not, what's going to happen. I mean, you're 15-point dog, you get the win. Next week in Illinois, I'll probably get beat by 50. Just a completely twisted year. Another postponement there, Houston SMU. That was a big game, but postponed. LSU squeaks by at Arkansas. Good for them. Arkansas maybe just getting a little fatigued now in the latter part of this year. Florida gets by Vandy but couldn't cover the 32, so there's another W. Chip Kelly played well in his own old stomping grounds, almost got the win, sticking us with the L because we had Oregon laying 13, mistake. This was a good, that was a top play. This was the top play we actually won. Iowa, getting 2.5 points at Penn State. It seemed easy. Penn State's 0-5. Not a good team. Not a good team. So they're guaranteed a losing season now. and maybe worse. I don't. Penn State alumnus, who's a friend of mine, says that they've just signed Franklin to some huge contract, so they're kind of stuck with him. Oh well, that's your problem. Cincinnati not getting it done at Central Florida. They squeaked by, but not by enough points. Oregon State winning, that was the top play. Nevada winning, that was the top play. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, something's amiss, and I can't figure it out. All right, where were we? Northwestern, we get the W there, winning outright. So, yeah, I guess Ohio State's argument to the committee is going to be, well, we beat Northwestern in the Big Ten title game. I don't find that a convincing argument myself. We were in the wrong place there, way in the wrong place there. Alabama crushing Kentucky. Kentucky showing no ability whatsoever to play with Alabama at all. Postponement there. Liberty, break our heart. Not only does North Carolina State beat them, they fail to cover. So, we wanted Liberty to, it's like, look, I'm going to fade Liberty. I like the story. Prove me wrong. Beat me, Liberty. Beat me. Well, they didn't beat me. They lost the game. But then stole the cover. It's like, worst of all worlds. So, loser. Michigan. What can we say about Michigan? I mean, they had played their guts out and got lucky and barely beat Rutgers in overtime. So Michigan's a bad team. Rutgers is a bad team. Yeah, it occurred to me when I was watching that Michigan-Rutgers game, I thought, I've been bashing the Michigan leadership up there, whoever the president is, and the chancellors, and the princes and the kings of these colleges, or whatever the hell they are, that decide whether or not teams are going to play football or not. Is it safe? Is it in the interest of academia that we play? And I've been, pretty critical that these, panty wastes are afraid to play at places like Michigan. I think I probably owe an apology to these people. It occurs to me that they've been watching their team in practice, and they've been saying, we can't play. I mean, we're bad. This is a bad football team. We need an excuse not to play, or we're going to get embarrassed. Virus. Yeah, safety. Yeah. So I actually think the chancellors up there at Michigan are much more football fans than I give them credit for. And that's why they didn't want to play this year. So I think that's what happened there. Wrong here. Mike Gundy, I love Mike Gundy, but I guess what I need to get my arms around is he just cannot get past Oklahoma. Oklahoma's just got too much going there. Oklahoma is the giant school that has all the resources, and Oklahoma State's the plucky underdog, and maybe if Oklahoma State's getting like 3 touchdowns, that might be where you look at them and take the points. But in a game like this, I guess where you probably should have been is with the huge, massive favorite. If David faces Goliath 100 times, David probably gets his ass kicked, 98 times. So that's probably where we needed to be thinking there, and we weren't. Cold weather game comes through here. Arizona get crushed up at Seattle, and we lose our late night cold weather game with UP. Utah looked like what I saw that game. Utah looked terrible. So So I think we were 4-3 on the top plays. I'm just trying to figure out what's doing. 4-3 on the top plays in college. So, But then the pros were awful. We got that right. The Eagles are terrible. That's a terrible team. Probably one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, Carson Wentz. he's in big trouble in Philadelphia. We're actively trying to get rid of him at this point. Ready to throw in our lot with Jalen Hurts. Probably a mistake there with the Falcons. I should have. I didn't drill down deep enough into that game, maybe, and see that the Saints were going to come up with Hill at quarterback over Jameis Winston. So that's where I think we made our mistake there. Not sure what happened there. The Patriots, I guess, are simply not that good of a team, and we're unable to come up big after that huge effort against the Ravens. So their season's basically over now. Bad luck here. I mean, this game could have gone either way, and then we lose Joe Burrow in the second half, so that's bad luck. And once he went down, that was the game. So L there. We were right, absolutely right on that one. The Titans winners outright at Baltimore. More bad luck here. We lose the center early in the first quarter, and then just ridiculous fumbles by the Packers cost them the game. I mean, they should have won that game easily, and just foolish, ridiculous fumbles cost them. In the wrong place here. Vikings did not fire, getting beat outright. Their season's over. And now the Chiefs did not get it done for us. They just weren't good enough. Did not play enough defense. Mahomes, at least one bad interception. I didn't see the whole game, but I did see him sort of one pick at the goal line when they were going in, and he threw that pick, and that was probably was the game. So terrible weekend, lousy weekend. What can you say? Oh, Monday night game, right. The notorious BLP wants some action tonight. He's I think he said he was sitting on his couch. So let's give him a game. He needs some action. So give him some action. Scrub that out. Let's see. What was it? The Bucket? No, it's the Rams. Are at Tampa. I believe the Rams are 6-3. The Buccaneers are 7-3. The Buccaneers trail the Saints. The Rams are in the mix there, trailing the Seahawks, and I guess they're right there with the Cardinals too. I think we have to be looking here at the Rams. The Buccaneers are, I would argue, they're 2 games, at least. Yeah, they're a good 2 games behind the Saints. And what is there, 6 to play or something? I mean, I know Drew Brees is hurt, but they lost both games to the Saints. So the Saints had the tiebreaker. The Buccaneers are just going to have something statistically unusual happen past the Saints. I think they know that. I think they know that, all right, we're comfortably in the playoffs. Chances of us getting the 1 seed, not great. This is kind of just another game for us. And next week, they play the defending champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, which I would think has got to get some of their attention. I mean, the Chiefs are a premium team. That's one of those teams that I'm going to play Patrick Mahomes. If I'm on that defense, I'm thinking about that. If I'm Tom Brady, I'm thinking about that. I'm going to play Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that would be my chance to show him that I'm still the man. Now the Rams, they're 6-3. They need to win just to. They've still got a number of tough games left on their schedule. They need to put some W's on the board to make sure they get in. So I'm thinking the Rams are going to be the team here that's going to be wanting to really play well. We're going to take the 4.5. We'll put 2 stars on this one. I think that's where we want to be on this one. I'm a little hesitant because the Buccaneers can be explosive, and you know, they have a really good defense, but you know, the Rams, I mean, they might be looking at that Saints tape saying, all right, how did the Saints beat these guys? How did the Saints just trash these guys? And trying to copy what happened there. The Rams might have personnel similar to the Saints, where they might be thinking, all right, they did this, they did that, we got guys similar, we could do sort of these kind of things too, maybe. And what the hell, we're getting 4.5 points. You know, we lose by a field goal, that's a W for us. I think the value is without a doubt here on the Los Angeles Rams. That's where we want to be. We're taking the Rams. All right, that's all we got there in the sports barn. College basketball's coming up. I haven't decided what to do with that yet. It's so... It's one of our sports, and I like it, so I'm probably going to try to look at it pretty hard here in the next, you know, time is so short right now. The politics barn is definitely invading the sports barn, I won't lie. It's eating up my time, and I don't, the problem is that I have 1/4 of the Sports Barn subscribers and 3 times as many Politics Barn subscribers. So, what to do? Hard to keep everybody happy, I guess. Anyway, all right. So we'll get some college football picks for you by the midweek, and then the schedule will be the schedule, and we'll get you the NFL towards the end of the week. Shout out to Range over at Capper Comparison Picks. He's one of my favorite people. Someday when this all ends, Range, you know, I'll get together and we'll do a joint episode, and we'll flip a coin to see whose whiteboard we're gonna use. Whether I come up, you're in New York, I'm almost sure of that, or you come down here to the barn, and we'll see how that goes. Don't have to pack a suitcase just yet, because I'm pretty sure that this isn't going to end anytime soon. All right, thanks. I appreciate everybody's been here, is here, will be here, was here, and hit the like button if you can see it there and you want to go ahead and do that. That always makes me feel good, and we'll talk again. Let's go Rams.